Welcoming you back to the juiciest crypto news. We have crypto slightly ticky up. We are around 18 to 24 hours before the US FOMC decision, where major loser Powell is expected to slowly blue ball Main Street and slowly, gradually cut rates. He is way too late. I've got a lot of juicy stuff coming your way, friends. I mean, what an episode we have today. We have President Pump commenting directly right on interest rates and his expectations. We're going to speak about the US National Bank regulations on cryptocurrency adoption. We're going to be speaking about, of course, the US Fed rate cut expectations and what's coming around the corner. Major losers replacement, major winner, Kevin Hassett. Did he make some comments on interest rates coming June? Yes, he did. We're going to speak about Cockroach GCR, Taiki Maeda. Is he still short Ethereum and is he doubling down? Yes, he is. All that coming your way. Cointelegraph refusing to post any bullish Ethereum posts as we saw ETH-BTC currently rise. We're going to be speaking about Michael Chad Saylor, stablecoin supercycle. All of that coming your way and more. We are looking at the chart of the racist Russell 2000. This is a daily chart. I just want to keep you up to date of this racist Russell 2000. It is continuing to hold the top. Many people believe, for example, blockchain backer, that it is game over and it's going down to zero. As everybody says, bear market confirmed. Bear market confirmed. I'm painting my fingernails tomorrow and I'm skipping leg day. Bear market confirmed. That is 99% of the crypto industry. Everybody says bear market confirmed. Everybody believes it's definitively a bear market. Go read the comments of Crypto. Go read the comments of Ben Copen. Go read the comments of Ivan on Tech. Go read the comments of literally every single major crypto influencer except like 2 or 3. You will see a pattern. Everybody sold. Everybody sold. They said bear market confirmed. They said I'm too tired. They said it's going lower. It's going to go to the 50-week moving average, even lower, 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 lower. All right, they're going to go to 200-week moving average. Everybody's 100% convinced of that. And here I am saying, look, you could be right. You could be right. All right, I don't know what comes around the corner. I'm just telling you, it's a bit strange how you, as a poor pleb, sitting in the matrix, as a blue-pilled hotel cuck enjoyer, it's very strange that you are the soothsayer. You are the oracle knower that we're in a bear market confirmed, whilst Tom Lee and the rest of Wall Street are buying Bitcoin and Ethereum here. I think it's very strange. People who are literally in the middle of the deep state, the wallets of the deep state, Wall Street, I think there's something wrong with this picture. Okay, you're looking at this 4-year cycle stuff like, oh wow, there's a bear market confirmed. And literally the whole reason for the corruption of the money system, the whole reason why Bitcoin was invented in the first place, why we even have an industry, they're actually buying the crypto right now at this time, and you think you're going to outsmart them. I just think that's quite strange, okay? This is the racist Russell 2000, as I mentioned for you before, friends, and it's very important because it is strangely moving up despite Main Street being crushed. Is it going to tell us nice things about the future? Perhaps, okay? What we're going to do now, we're actually going to check out what's been happening in the cryptocurrency lands. We have BTC doing a slight thrust up. This is the channel of friendship. Okay, we're expecting this, you know, Dikembe Green kind of stalling out. Remember, we're going into the ultimate gay bear zone. Remember, friends, this is the box of poop. And what I've done is I've actually added the box. You can see some text here. Bear market confirmed. Also, crypto retailers believe they outsmarted Wall Street. That's going to be one for their history books if we don't actually go there. That'd be funny. It actually happened. You have to see, like just when you thought, like, hey, bro, you know, we literally, do you understand this Wall Street? Do you understand you cannot beat them? You know that, right? You know they literally have ultimate power, right? You know they are the de facto wallet of the insider trading, of the total control of the world population through the governments, right? You know that, yes? You know, like Satoshi had to make Bitcoin and disappear, right? Even though the CIA know who he is. Anyway, you know that, yeah? How come you really think you're outsmarting them? Where'd you get that idea from? It's interesting how it works out, isn't it, friends? This is the Bitcoin weekly chart. We are still doing the greenie and the ready and the greenie and the ready. Everybody believes it's bear market confirmed. Most of the crypto industry believes we are going to reject off here. Okay, it doesn't matter if they're a short-term trader, dude, like Trader Main. Doesn't matter if they're long-term. Doesn't matter who it is, like Ben Copen, Ivan, Momentum Trade. Literally every single person is 100% convinced that this bear market rally will fail like all the others, and we're definitely going down, and everybody's looking for clout, okay, all over the cryptocurrency industry. It will be a very interesting tale if some sort of weird surprise happens through that area, but we still got Year of the Snake to go and deal with. Remember, the respective channel of friendship is still holding here. Just to let you know as well, blockchain backer believes even if we do go down and up, it'll be a sinking down to zero, and then there'll be a big V reversal. That's what he thinks. If there is some sort of ability for crypto to bounce back. Also, friends, I'm gonna let's actually show you Ethereum. I'm gonna show you Ethereum now, and then we're gonna move on to the bonds. Okay, but Ethereum first, friends. Ethereum is rotating up. Some say up, some say anti-dune. It is continuing to rotate up. And I actually want to show you, if you go check down on the smaller time frames, ETH-BTC did a nice thrust back up to 0.035, okay? But it's still got a long way to go, right? The spot ETF was at 0.055, okay? But right now it's at 0.035. So it's actually nice. It's starting to move up. And it does remind me of what happened back in 2020, right? They stopped QT here, and this is what ended up happening. Ethereum ends up going up. Now, a lot of people, if you remember back here, friends, we had the zombie virus. So that's why people believe it's going to happen again. But just in my humble peanut brain experience, it's easier to tell where the ratios are going. It's harder to tell where the outright legs are going. If you go back to 2019 when they cut QT, what actually happened was, this is actually shown to you, friends. So Bitcoin went from 10K to 10K, and altcoins went up 2x in a year. All right. I know you don't believe me. I actually showed it to you on the OTHERS-btc chart. That's actually precisely what happened in this space of 12 months. So you can actually go back here, okay? Bitcoin in this period of time, yes, it actually went from 10K to 10K. So here's July, and then here is, it went up 100%. Okay, so you actually have right here, it's actually a red candle. You see July 2019, Bitcoin was 10K, and then back here, Bitcoin was 10K again. All right, so OTHERS-btc actually went up 100%. It's interesting, yeah? However, there was a lot of turmoil in there. So Bitcoin went from 10 to 6, back to 10, down to 3 from the zombie virus, then back to 10. Okay, so that whole mumbo jumbo, skitsy going from 10 to 3 part, that is, if anybody like who's got like a 2% chance that things will continue up, some other crypto influencers, they will just rely on that. They go, oh, we went down last time, we're going to go down again. But all right, this is okay. I don't know anything. Okay, I see Ethereum as like really underpriced. I know the insiders. I know they manipulated this. I know that for a fact they did. You can't program Bitcoin. You need to program Bitcoin, dude. Okay, all these kids running around going, yes, free money. No. Do you understand how the US government works, bro? They sell bonds. They need to create rules around who owns stuff, how they move stuff. IDs, okay? It's ready for them in Ethereum, bro. It's literally the difference between taking a fork to a battle, an army battle, or of something you're heavily armed like a spoon, okay? Of course, you're going to take the spoon, okay? And the grenades and rocket launchers. That's Ethereum. But we'll have to see how that plays out later on, okay? It can still take a while. Now what I have to do, friends, is I've got a video coming out later on. This is extremely important, okay? This is the US 10-year bond. And what I've done is I've changed it to yield. Okay, it's a US 10-year bond yield. But this is actually, what you can actually do is you can look at just the ZN futures. So this is the US 10-year T-note futures. But what I've done is, because people get confused about how the pricing is, okay, because as your price goes down, the yield goes higher because your price is poop. As the price goes up, your yield goes lower. Okay, so when the S&P 500 sells down and it's risk off and everybody's in panic, people buy bonds because they assume rate cuts are coming and you want to gobble up that yield, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go back to that chart so it's easier for you to look at. This is the US 10-year bond, okay? So I've inverted it here for you, okay? Now, if you've noticed, this thing is weak as hell, okay? It is weak as hell. This thing, friends, is weak as hell, and it's very interesting because even though they are cutting rates, and the yield goes like, oh, we might need some rate cuts, the US 10-year is still 4.18%. Okay, and if this thing rolls down, it's going to get very nasty because it's going to force the US Fed to do yield curve control. That's actually have the word here, yield curve control. Okay, we'll actually put it down here. So what is yield curve control? I've got more videos and stuff coming out here for you. It's literally, it's QE, but with QE, they print money and then they go and they buy the bond. They throw it away. They buy the bond. They actually print money and they go do it. With yield curve control, what they do is they print money and then they go to one part of the bonds, the yield curve, and they'll set like a big bid. Okay, it's different. So the bid is they leave a big limit order there. Okay, they don't actually go and maybe they buy it up a bit, but they don't buy it up forever. They don't just keep buying it up, buying it up, buying it up. What they might do is they might leave this huge bid. So they might say, okay, US 10-year, you are not allowed to go below 3.6%. So the US 10-year will go up and it will like sit below it and then it'll actually just go and trade, okay? Because if anybody tries to sell the bond below, you have the US Fed with their infinite ammo pretty much coming ready to buy. Now, why do they do that? It incentivizes people to stop investing for the long term in government bonds, which is risk off, and go take on more risk, like AI, like crypto, okay? That's what it would be. So if you want to run an economy hot, you want to draw forward the investment, okay, this is what you have to do. If you don't do this, the market will find the fair price of the bonds and this piece of garbage might go down to 5% and then you are in a world of trouble because it means there's less demand for the US government bonds. So I've got a video on that coming out as well, friends. Just a quickly reminder as well. When Trump had the tariff tantrum here, okay, the bonds went down in price. That's actually why they stopped. Yeah, because the bonds were eventually going up because they thought, oh, don't worry, they're just going to buy our bonds as we like spook at the stock market with the China. And then what ended up happening was, no, they sold off the bonds as well. And that was, everyone went turbo panic. They're like, oh, we sold the stocks and the bonds, finished. Okay, we have to stop now. Okay, because that's how the government makes money. That's how the government's able to spend. They sell supply bonds to the marketplace and there has to be a bid for it. Okay, so that's pretty much what we'll be watching. And yes, I'll just be honest, that could be a FUD narrative later on as Year of the Snake happens, friends. So it is very possible as we move into Year of the Snake, at the end of the Year of the Snake, so it's January here, it is possible, friends, these bonds poop the bed. Okay, and this causes the stock market and crypto to have a bit of a jitter. Yeah, but everybody's watching stocks. No one's watching the bonds. Not many people are watching the bonds. Okay, so that's what I'm hoping we like, because if what you want is, you want the Fed to act, but you don't want it to be in your market. You want something else to break for them to step in. And we're hoping that Bitcoin's already dumped enough or crypto's dumped enough that it's okay. So that's actually what we want. Of course, it's not up to what we want, right? So I'll just show you as well. This actually, let's look at the Bitcoin price action chart and keep it family friendly. Here we are here. This is Bitcoin's price action chart. We're going into the gay bear zone soon, hopefully. So I'll just give you an idea. So this will be where January is, okay? So you never know, man. We're in the gay bear zone, fake out, something happens. And then as we move to end of Jan, those US 10-year bonds, they just start shitting the bed and this thing comes down, boom. And it scares everybody right here. And everyone thinks, okay, it's all over. We rejected, so here's 100K. What I'll do is I'll show you. This would be a very, you could see this happening, right? It's above 100, everyone feels confident. Okay, cool, we're above 100K, that's cool. And then something happens, see you later. Comes back down to like 92, 93. And this capitulation is the end of Year of the Snake, which might be the US 10-year bonds coming down. Now, friends, why I'm telling you this is very important, just so you know. Because major loser Powell, he's a hawk. And we're going to get Kevin Hassett. It is possible, we hope it doesn't happen, but it is possible that the marketplace thinks that the new US Ched famine might be too much of a dove, okay, where he's not going to tackle inflation enough. All right, so if he keeps the rates too low, inflation's going to run hot. No one wants to own the bonds. So it is possible that there's a loss of confidence in these bonds. Now, personally, I don't think it should be. I think the rates are too high. I think Main Street is struggling. I know, it's not even I think, friends, you know, who caused all this problem, by the way? Who put rates to zero and gave inflation 6.5%? The US Fed. Okay. Who hiked rates from 0 to 5.5% and induced a big recession and killed crypto? The US Fed. Okay. Who cut interest rates 3 times just for Joe Biden to win? The US Fed. Thank you very much. Okay. Who's the CUNT major loser? Who's incompetent dope and taking way too long to cut the rates to pump my bags? The US Fed. Thank you very much. Okay, so as you can start to see, friends, every single major thing coming out is because of the US Fed, is because of human intervention. If it was actually up to the free market, which they'll never do, some of these things would be able to be taken care of beforehand. However, that means that would give ultimate control of the money printer, and that, my friends, has a big fat 0% chance of ever happening. Now, I'd like to show you the Ethereum price chart. It's around 3,350. Ethereum, friends, is doing a nice ticky up. I showed you ETH-BTC. Ethereum is starting to show strength, which is great. This is the 12-month chart of the Bitcoin dominance. It has done 4 green years in a row. Many people believe, like Copen believes it's going 80%. Ben Copen believes Ethereum's go down to like 0.013 in this bear market for the ETH-BTC ratio. So I'll just show you, just so you know, like how, if things go up, how badly positioned everyone is. Remember, he believes and everyone else believes, like Taiki, that ETH-BTC is going down here. They think it's going to roll over and keep going down here. So if this goes up, you have like literally, friends, 70% of the market who has to unwind what's going on, and they change their positioning, etc. But I still ultimately believe that you will not get the thrust of capitulation unless you literally see Bitcoin 130, Ethereum 5,000, which is new all-time highs. Now I want to have a quick look at PulseChain before we crack on to the news. PulseChain doing some ticky sideways, kind of green, kind of nothing. I change it between 6 and 12-hour, 24-hour charts. Nothing really to celebrate here. We did have that slight move up, which is good, but I just want to bring it to your attention as well. Don't focus on the size of the pathetic move, because the move is pathetic, okay? Don't focus on that size. Focus on how the tiniest move was able to invigorate a large crowd for engagement, okay? Because it makes you think, whoa, like everybody says this thing is dead. Look, friends, literally you had PulseChain community members making rest in peace PulseChain, you're dead videos, okay? So you're like saying that's really weird, bro. Like the tiniest green candle up, everyone yells really loud. That doesn't sound dead to me. That sounds like there's a big megaphone ready to go, okay? So that's the attitude I have when it comes here. You can do whatever you want. You can keep DCA buying if you have any spare money. A lot of us is basically, we've been run dry for a long time when it comes to this as well. Or you could go follow other crypto KOLs who yell bear market confirmed, and they can all go put glitter on their face, skip leg day, enjoy sitting on the hotel cock chair and hook up with their boyfriends. You could go do that, be my guest, but I'm still staying long and strong. I see strong believers everywhere, mega strong altcoin hands, mega strong. You've survived literally the ultimate nuclear winter. You don't have Wall Street coming to buy altcoins. You don't have an ETF. You don't have Michael Saylor shitting you. You don't have any of these big institutions saying, oh yeah, Bitcoin's gone to $1 million for your coin. Nothing. That means if you're holding, you are the ultimate strongest hand believer. That's what I want to be with. I want to be with that person. I don't want to be with someone who's turbo leveraged Bitcoin on IBIT and needs it to go up. I don't want to be along with that person. Big news, friends. President Pump says immediate rate cuts is a requirement for the next Fed chair. I think what we're going to do, friends, we're going to play some Pumpaging music because we definitely need that. We're going to spit out lollipops. Thank you, Mr. President. I agree. The next Fed chair must cut rates. Okay, that's why, friends. That's why I gave you that prelude into Kevin Hassett and yield curve control, because it is possible. You're only hearing this from Democrat guys like Mike Novogratz, for example, because people they're not really pro-Trump. They're like Democrats, so like in their minds, they're like, oh no, Trump is like a lunatic. So there's going to be a loss of confidence of the U.S. bonds. So that's why it's always a 50-50 case of that, right? It's always the other side. That's what they're basically just sharing with you. And honestly, it is true. It is true. If the market really has a loss of confidence in US, that might happen, where they poop the bed. But yeah, if the bonds poop the bed, stocks probably fall, crypto starts to fall. Hopefully we don't go too far low. And they have to step in, dude. They have to step in. Otherwise, they're cooked. They're cooked. The US interest rate, because that's right, friends, I told you. Next year, they're rolling over between $9 to $12 trillion of the 5-year government debt. If they let that interest rate for the US 10-year bond go up, they are absolutely cooked. Finished. They can't do that. That's not their policy. Because they have to roll over at a huge interest rate. They are wrecked. No. They have to do yield curve control. They have to, and then worry about it in the next president. Maybe 2028. Maybe America puts in more a bit of a socialist who hands out candy to people, aka non-investment, non-crypto people, and maybe they walk back a bit of stuff out here. But until that moment in time, we're going to stay long and strong. US National Bank Regulator says banks can act as crypto intermediaries. So we are seeing more pro-regulation, pro-crypto adoption. The doors are opening, which is great. The doors are open. You have Charles Schwab, Vanguard. Total asset under management is like 23 trillion for them, but I actually did more research. I think they're only allowing like 20% or 10% of them. And then, you know, they can allocate like, 1% of a 2 trillion. It doesn't really matter. Don't worry about that specific number, okay? The most important thing is everyone's going to see the crypto platform. That's all I care about. Charles Schwab, Vanguard. I don't care who's allowed to buy, bro. Just, I want 50 million people to see the crypto platform, okay? I want them just to see it. Because a few start buying, and when they start seeing it's green, they're like, what the hell? Bitcoin's up 28% in like 2 months. That's when their minds start blowing because it's outperforming gold. It's outperforming the S&P. That's all you want to see, okay? And then they get one step closer to our altcoins. The FOMC rate decision is in 24 hours with 25 basis point rate cut coming as major loser Jerome Powell continues acting too late to lower rates to appropriate levels for Main Street, which I think is 2.5%, maybe 3 down to 2.5%. That's what I think rates should be. They're right now 4. They're literally 4%. And a lot of people obviously are poop scared because he's just a major CUNT. And rate, the odds of the cut is like, 85, 95% chance. So it's coming, but it's slow. Kevin Hassett, the US Fed chairman, #1 runner, White House advisor, says there is plenty of room for interest rate cuts. I mean, you gotta love seeing that. But what I really like is, this is the best part. Do you know that the yield curve of America is not even pricing in Kevin Hassett? Nope. That, I can't believe it. He's not priced in. He's not priced in at all. Now, some people who are bearish, they say, okay, it's because they don't think he's going to be able to change the board and inflation's going to be conquered. There is that argument. You could say that. But I don't care about what happens in the future, okay? I want to know how people are positioned. People are positioned for next year to be tight rates. But you understand, like, if this happens in real time, you got to think about you and me here. I'm like, bro, wait. The US president literally said, if you want the Fed chairman spot, you got to cut rates, #1. #2, the front runner literally said, there is plenty of room to cut rates. Okay, these two repeating key pieces of information, and the yield curve refuses to price it in. Very good. Very good. I would be worried if it was all massively priced. It's not priced in. You check the yield curve, friends. If they price in like 1 or 2 or 3 cuts, there's no rate cut priced for January. Let's actually check now. We can actually check it right here. Yeah? So this is it, friends. So this is December. Ease, 87% chance. If we go to January, they have another one. There you go. It's only 67% chance of 3.5%. Oh, no, actually, friends, there's no rate cut priced in. There's no rate cut priced in because you got to look at the higher number of the range here, 3.75. Okay, so look, they have if you look at this, they said 87% chance it's going to be 3.75% in December. 28th of January, 68% chance it's going to be that as well. No change, pretty much. And then if you go to March, look at this, 52% chance that it's going to be 3.75%. Oh my God. They have not priced in any rate cuts, dude. Wow. Even with that, that's crazy, man. Friends, look at this. By April next year, 44% chance that it's still 3.75%. So literally, friends, that's the last FOMC meeting with major loser Powell. So the US yield curve has major loser Powell only giving 1 rate cut until he's done. Whoa, man, that's big. And then there's a 40% chance only of just 1 rate. Wow. So I'll tell you right now, what could take everyone by surprise is if the data's weak enough or the US bonds put enough pressure and major loser Powell acts before Kevin Hassett. Maybe. Friends, it's really weird when you think about it. because major loser Powell's leaving, you know, remember, friends, he's not in control, okay? It's a central bank, dude. Friends, a central bank have assassinated 3 US presidents. 2 were successful, 1 wasn't. Guess what happened to all 3 of them? They got off scot-free. You can literally look it up. I remember I've told people this, they don't believe it. Dude, you can literally look it up on Wikipedia, okay? They've trailed back central banks, right? The central bank, the money printer, 3 US presidents, okay? That's just like, you know, I don't want to make too many videos on it because it's the ultimate power and control of humans. But you already know, bro. Like, you already know it's ultimate power. That's why we made Bitcoin, because you can't print more of it, right? So we know that. However, part of the deep state, the script, right? Look at it. Friends, wouldn't it be wild if this is how the movie plays out? Major loser Powell is ready to keep rates and be tight and like respect the currency, right? Which is a bunch of BS. And then an unforeseen event happens and it forces him to start a yield curve control, and then Kevin Hassett resumes it because major loser Powell's leaving. So he's like, oh, in the last few months of my term, some unforeseen bad event happened and I had to turn on the money printers for the people, and now I will go. Goodbye, people. I will now hand it over to the next guy. You know? Why I'm thinking about that is if Kevin Hassett starts all the yield curve control, maybe there's a risk of the confidence of that. I know, friends, you gotta, like, a lot of this stuff, it is esoteric, but you gotta take my word on it. Unless, like, be my guest. If you want to go research this, none of this is a coincidence, dude. None of it is a coincidence, okay? It literally is literally the bazooka gun, dude. It is literally ultimate power. Once you look at the stories and the rates and the decisions of ultimate power and the politicians and stuff, everything around it, you literally see the matrix. You just see how, oh, wow, everything's rigged. Everything's rigged, okay? Check this out. President Trump says he wouldn't rule out reducing tariffs on some goods. Remember, we had the Trump tariff tantrum, everything coming out earlier as well. Maybe it's going to be one of those things. You can see there'd be a disbelief-hated rally where they put tariffs on, sends the market down, but the market goes up higher eventually. And then they remove a bit of tariffs and the market goes up even higher. And that would piss off a lot of people who are sidelined, right? Which might be fuel for our rally. Now, friends, we have crowd favorite, Cockroach GCR, Taiki Maeda. He doubles down on his short. So this is Taiki. So Taiki put on a great short on Ethereum, made like 1.5 million or 500K. I forgot how much he made as well. He's got like heaps of shorts. I don't know what he's done with the others as well. So he has doubled down on his Ethereum short, Cockroach GCR. So he calls himself a cockroach. So Cockroach GCR has doubled down on his Ethereum short at 3,130. And he says Ethereum has 0 value and there is no reason to ever own it. So he has joined Ben Copen in calling Ethereum a useless trash asset which should go below $1,000 in this confirmed bear market. So that's why I wanted to show you. This is the context of what's going on. There's a lot of people still on the sidelines or still hating Ethereum. Cointelegraph hates Ethereum. So I'm just giving you an idea of what's going on out there so you can see the scope of what everyone's looking at. And basically, everyone's even talking about bear market confirmed. No one's talking about a single altcoin. Remember, Ethereum's kind of like the mothership of them as well. Cointelegraph refuses to post the ETH-BTC chart, which has pumped up to 0.035 ratio. Okay, so this is me reporting my observation. So Cointelegraph, they're known as like a retail indicator. They only show consensus favorites, so Bitcoin and Solana. So that's why I showed you this. See, friends, they don't show this. Why? Because Glass Chode and all the other ones, they're saying it's a bear market confirmed with all the retailers. And so showing ETH-BTC going up, it doesn't match their narrative. They go, but Ethereum's worth 0. Why are people taking on useless risk to buy this piece of junk? Okay, so when you see this stuff appear, you can see how this confirmation bias is lurking everywhere. The great state of Texas just became the first US state to buy and hold Bitcoin. Hopefully, many more follow after that. We also have Michael Chad Saylor. Some comments from him, friends. So Michael Chad Saylor says China is going to copy the USA the moment America starts accumulating Bitcoin. So he's referring to the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. Remember, we got that signing. Nothing happened. Hopefully it happens next year. We'll see. He also says the following US banks are now issuing credit against Bitcoin. Obviously, don't do this. But yeah, that's good for adoption. So we have Citibank, otherwise known as Citibug. Okay, we have JP Morgan, otherwise known as JP Mosquito. We have Wanks Fargo. We have the Bugs of New York Mellon. We have Caterpillar Schwab. And then we have the Bank of Ants. So all of these are bug eater banks. All of them are private owners of the US Fed. Just, I know it's always new people coming in. Just let you know who owns the US Fed. You're not allowed to know. It's private. But a lot of the deep state insiders, they have members from all of the other big US banks out here. And obviously leads back to the Child family, which we can't talk about. It pretty much, like, just imagine in your mind, if you were to make up a conspiracy, you're like, oh, what's a conspiracy that like a tinfoil hat person would make up about whoever controls the money printer, right? Write it down and then start doing research about who owns the bank, and you'll find out, oh, wow, you guessed it 100% correctly. So that's all I'll say about that. There's no surprises there. It's funny. The UAE, friends, the United Arab Emirates, their national security says Bitcoin is a key pillar of future finance. Remember, the UAE are DCA buying IBIT, BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. Okay, that was hinted by CZ and everyone else out here as well. And Lizard Finkles. Circle, friends, Circle, Stablecoin Supercycle, they have secured the financial services permission license from Abu Dhabi, and they're going to operate as a money service, which is wonderful. So Circle, friends, USDC, Stablecoin Supercycle appearing everywhere, all the merchants everywhere. This is exactly what we want to see. Once everybody has a USDC, then all the countries come and just allow crypto everywhere, and you start to just see it permutate everywhere. That's why, friends, like deep, friends, I believe is deep down in my 3 testicles, crypto, it should be bigger than the stock market by market cap. It should. Because every shop you go to, you're going to see the basket, we accept crypto. Okay? You don't go around to merchants and stores and be like, hey, we accept Apple stock. You know, there's no advertising from them. You didn't care about Apple, bro. Okay? Apple's a unique case. Maybe care about the phone. But 99% of these companies, you don't care about them. Johnson & Johnson baby bump powder. You just don't care. So I'm trying to look forward into the future, the next 10 to 15 years, all the Zoomer kids, everybody growing up, do they care about, oh, wow, I get to own this random stock. I get to own, like Citybug stock. You don't care about that, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to roll that forward. That's why crypto's at 3 trillion. The stock's 150 trillion. I think crypto should be 100 trillion one day too. 21 Capital CEO Jack Mallers, which is down here, Jack Mallers, says we're going to buy as much Bitcoin as we possibly can. Yes, print money, print shares, and go do that. That'd be great. So where are we going to from here? Remember, respecting the channel of friendship friends, but all eyes are going to be on Ethereum. Remember, I've been telling you, we've been watching this very carefully. Ethereum going up, friends, is beginning of bull. But it depends your context here. This is, end of bear, beginning of bull. So maybe this is funny, right? End of bear, beginning of bull. It's kind of funny. So we already had a bear market kind of this year. ETH-BTC is starting to move up. And yeah, of course, we don't get in resolution until You of the Horsey starts. And here is BTC is going to be between 90, 95. And then we all have that bear market confirmed line out here. So you and I are still going to make it. We've got the FOMC decision coming up. All data pieces coming up. I've already written off the rest of this year. Don't really care. Also written off January next year. We're going to make it though. Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you soon.